Well, hello, everybody. I'm assuming you all can see me and hear me right now. If you can, just sort of give me a thumbs up in the chat on the side real quick. Sorry, can you guys, just want to double check? Can you guys? Perfect. Thank you, Faranax. So, hello, everyone. Welcome to the first ever Canadian Computational Neuroscience Spotlight, hopefully the first of many. Oh, I see you guys took my thumbs up literally, and we're probably looking to see how to do the thumbs up icon. That makes sense. Uh, so I'm excited to have you guys all here. We have a fantastic worldwide audience and a fantastic worldwide group of speakers ready for you over the next couple of days. I just wanted to take the first 15-20 minutes of our time here to give you a little bit of an introduction to what we're doing here, what our mission here is over these next 2 days, and also to give you a little bit of an introduction to this Crowdcast platform if you have not used it before, which I'm sure many of you haven't. So I am now going to focus my screen on my slides and walk you through these. So this is the beautiful Toronto skyline, since we are this Canadian spotlight. Before I get going, I want to recognize the other members of the organizing committee who have we put in a ton of work to get this to you guys, especially in these trying times. Dr. Andrea Ducanescu, Dr. John Griffiths, and Dr. Milad Lankarni. I also like to thank the Krembil Research Institute for providing some of the administrative support necessary to get this thing off the ground and up and running. So first off, why did we create this brand new conference, which we're calling CCNS? The obvious answer is to fill the void on the academic calendar caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. This has sort of hit us in terms of the academic community, particularly hard in Canada. Our yearly Canadian Association for Neuroscience meeting had to be postponed. We had a computational neuroscience symposium that we were pretty excited about in Toronto that also had to be postponed. And we sort of decided, rather than just leave this blank spot on our respective calendars, it was worth trying to put something together to get us all excited and intellectually stimulated during this trying time. And hopefully we will succeed in that. We'll find out in about 48 hours. Another reason why we wanted to do this is to spotlight the growing computational neuroscience community in Canada. Computational neuroscience is still a rapidly growing field. It's a very interdisciplinary field, as you all know, and that makes sometimes the networking aspect of our particular field an extra challenge, with so many computational neuroscientists spread around the world in different departments, in different classic academic disciplines and everything like that. So we thought this was a great chance to highlight specifically what we think is a really cool critical mass of computational neuroscientists that are growing in Canada. And then finally, we really wanted to take advantage of the fact that we could build this meeting from the ground up, from scratch. And we wanted to do that in a way that we could focus on both engaging and teaching and highlighting trainees. And you'll sort of see what we mean by that on this slide. So obviously, this meeting was free and it's open to all, as you guys have seen. One of the cool things about this Crowdcast platform is that the talks are available for replay indefinitely. We also plan at some point on making these talks available on YouTube, but you will be able to watch replays of these talks within this Crowdcast platform, within minutes of them finishing up, which is a really nice feature of this site. The other thing that we love about Crowdcast is that it's going to make our sort of Q&A periods a little bit less intimidating and a little bit more interactive. One of the things that I personally find drives me crazy at a normal conference is if there's 5 minutes for questions and all of a sudden, it's basically just a rush to the microphone and whoever gets there first gets to ask their question. And if it's someone who gets there first who has a comment and not a question, no one else gets to say anything. And we're all sort of frustrated. So that's something that we think this platform helps to mitigate, and I'll outline how that works in this session as well. One of the other things we're also doing is we know that trainees come into these conferences with a vast variety of different backgrounds. And so what we wanted to do is at the beginning of each of our themed sessions, and we're going to start with what we're calling a tutorial talk, sort of introducing one important concept that we hope will make the coming talks a little bit more accessible to everyone. I'll be giving a tutorial talk for this morning's microcircuit oscillation session following this introduction. We also are having panel discussions, panel Q&As each afternoon at around from 12 to 12:30. This is a chance for all the trainees or everyone here to ask questions, both of the organizing committee and of some of the speakers who have been generous enough to share a little bit extra of their time, sort of get their perspective, not only on their research and interesting questions you might have there, but also their careers, how you get started in computational neuroscience, how you get a postdoc, how you get a faculty position, all these questions that we all have that we don't necessarily always get to ask. We're hoping that these panel sessions will allow you to do. And then finally, we have our short parallel talks in the afternoons. This is a sort of middle ground between a poster talk and sort of short parallel symposium type of a thing, where we wanted to maintain the sort of interactivity and the open-endedness of a poster session while giving students a little bit more of a highlighted, more formal way of doing that. So we came up with these short parallel talks that are a 5-minute talk, sort of akin to a poster presentation, a poster spiel, with 5 minutes for Q&A. And we're hopeful, and then this is something that we're starting from scratch. We're very much looking forward to seeing what your feedback is on that. But we're very hopeful that this will be a sort of novel and nice way to really highlight the work of our trainees, not just in Canada, but from across the globe. So who's here at CCNS? I am very happy to announce that we now have a presence on every continent. We had a late registrant from Melbourne, Australia, which gave us that little dot right here on Australia, which I'm very happy about. We can claim someone on every continent here, but you can see that we have this really cool worldwide audience, which really blows my mind. It was beyond anything that we were expecting when we put this conference together. So thank you all for your engagement and for coming here and taking the initiative and signing up. So I also want to mention that our sort of, our split of people here, we have primarily trainees in the audience. Plurality of our registrants are grad students. A majority are either grad students or undergrads. So that's something that was sort of the goal of this conference, is to do something a little bit different and to do something aimed at these graduate students and undergraduates who are perhaps getting started in computational neuroscience and keeping them engaged. And we hope you guys will give us a lot of feedback and let us know how we've done in that endeavor. And just for some fun, I took a few minutes and played around with the free word cloud software. It looks like a brain. I thought that was fun. So you can see some of the things. This was your feedback on the questionnaire when you registered, what type of things you were interested in. Lots of people are interested in neural networks. A lot of people are interested in neurostimulation. Obviously, modeling is a big part of computational neuroscience, so that's not all that surprising. So what's on the schedule for the next 2 days? As I mentioned, we have these themed sessions. We have 4 of them. This morning will be microcircuit oscillations. The keynote speaker will be Nancy Capel. In the afternoon, we have macro level oscillations, the keynote speaker being Dimitris Panoutsis. Tomorrow morning, the session is themed around neuromodulation, with Cameron McIntyre being the keynote speaker. And finally, tomorrow afternoon, the computational psychiatry session will have Philip Corlett as its keynote. As I mentioned, we will have this panel discussion at noon each day. And closing out each day, we have these trainee talks. We have 21 of them for your perusal. And it's worth mentioning here that as I mentioned about the crowdcast ability for replay, when it comes to these short talks, because they're in parallel, you won't obviously be able to watch them all live at the time. Crowdcast does allow you to go back and replay those. So while you may not be able to actually ask a question, obviously you will be able to go back and see any session that you weren't necessarily in live. And those replays are available almost immediately after the session ends. So with that out of the way, I want to walk you guys through some of the features of Crowdcast that are going to be important during these next 2 days. The first is, if you're not already, please make sure you're using Google Chrome. Crowdcast, for whatever reason, was designed to be used with Chrome. And at various points during the conference, we may, quote, invite you onto the stage, where your video and audio will come and, will basically be where I am right now. If you want to ask a question at the panel discussion, if you want to ask a question to a speaker, you can either do that sort of anonymously or, via the Q&A system, or you can say, I want to come on stage, I want to ask it personally, perhaps if you have a follow-up. If you do that, the organizers will do some little behind-the-scenes magic, and you should get a screen that basically says, enable your camera or mic. You click yes, let's go. If you are using Chrome, and it's the first time you've come on stage, you may get some weird Mac error message if you're using a Mac. So just make sure you go to the security and privacy settings of your Mac, go to privacy, screen recordings, and just make sure there's this check mark next to Google Chrome. And that's something that hopefully you guys can do during our breaks before you may want to come up on stage. And if at any point in time you want to test all of this, just go to this link, crowdcast.io/setup. You may not be able to see that because of that little thing. There we go. Crowdcast.io/setup will sort of take you through everything to test. Most of you have already seen there's this really nice chat feature going along the right-hand side. This is something that the presenter can't see, so I can't see the chat right now. So if you have bad things to say about me, you can put them there right now. But this is a great way for during these talks, if there are sort of quick questions that you guys have, you can put them in that chat. I've seen before in these Crowdcasts where it's really nice where other people can sort of answer those questions. If there's an interesting paper that gets discussed that you want a link for, someone may put it in there. Otherwise, feel free to sort of use that and sort of keep the conversation going. One of the nice things is that chat window is available perpetually. So it's available both before and after the session. That's how you guys were able to sort of start chatting before I actually went live. The last important feature is this ask a question thing. So this screen won't look exactly the same since this is the presenter screen, but you guys will see the sort of ask a question button in the bottom of your screen near the chat. If you click ask a question, type in your question, press submit, it gets recorded, and what you'll see is it immediately will have this thing next to it that says 0 votes. Throughout the session, you guys can go into this Q&A tab and basically upvote questions that you're interested in and you'd like to have heard. So this is, if you use Reddit, this is very familiar to Reddit, except there's no downvote option. And again, this sort of allows us to, when it comes time for Q&A, instead of just answering the first question, we can answer the question that seems to have the most interest from the whole audience via this sort of voting feature. So with that, I am going to stop sharing my screen and come back up to full screen. And really quickly, I would just like to invite up my fellow members of the organizing committee, just so you guys can meet all of them, and to also show you how things look when we are sharing our screens.
Morning, everyone. Morning, afternoon, and evening, it would appear.
Hey, guys. So this is in the middle. I'm not sure how the screen gets ordered, but this is Dr. John Griffiths is the one with the headphones on. Milad Lankarani.
Hi, everyone.
The one without headphones. Our fourth organizer, Andrea, looks like she might have had to step away for a sec. Let me see if she is here. She is not, but you will meet her later in the day for sure. So again, so this is what this will look like. Oh, Andrea, you are here. Thank you. I am not sure why isn't it letting me invite you up? That is quite odd, Andrea. So anyways, we will try to fix that. But so we've had our first technical hiccup less than 10 minutes in, which is par for the course. So just to put everyone at ease, we will have technical hiccups. They are unavoidable. This is a new experience for all of us here. If you're a speaker, please don't be discouraged if you have one of these technical hiccups. This is something that we're going to be learning and working on. So actually, Abdelfazil, and I probably butchered your name, I apologize. The maximum was actually 4 people on stage. So I'm not quite sure why it's not letting me invite Andrea up unless it still thinks my screen is sharing for one reason or another. But anyway, you will meet Andrea very soon. But regardless, I just wanted to sort of show you guys how this will look. And again, I can sort of focus things. I can be in control. So now you can see John's face nice and big. I can now do all this, right? So there's a little bit of a manipulation here. And again, there are we've had our first technical hiccup. They're gonna happen. If it happens to you, please don't be alarmed. We'll be behind the scenes helping you out the entire way. And hopefully this will be our only and very minor technical hiccup. So with that, I'm going to kick John and Milad off the screen and ask if you guys have any questions. It does look like we do have one question from Ashraya, which asked, are the conference abstracts published? And so the question to that is yes, and Ruzer sort of answered that very nicely, so thank you for that. So yes, there is a Google Doc. There's a link to that on the registration page. They aren't published in any professional setting, any sort of journal setting yet. That's something that perhaps we may look into. But for now, they are all available at that Google Doc, and feel free to link to that page, cite that page on your CVs, however you might want. That's something that we do plan on keeping up for the foreseeable future. So any other questions right now? And I'm just going to test. So I am able to now invite Andrea up to the screen. So I'm going to do that really quickly.
Hey.
Hey, so this is Andrea Deaconess, the last but not least member of our organizing committee. I'm not quite sure why I was only letting us invite 3 people on screen, but now we learned. So we'll have to keep an eye on that, but hopefully that shouldn't be an issue going forward. So yes, this is our last member of our organizing committee. So I will kick you back off now, Andrea. So again, any questions about the meeting, any questions about Crowdcast, anything like that you guys want to get answered now before we get started on the conference in earnest? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Okay, so what's going to happen now is, so the last thing that I should quickly mention, and I'm going to share my screen again, is that, and this is going to get a little matrixy for a moment, so forgive me. Yeah, it's Hall of Mirrors right there. But you guys should see this schedule tab in the top left-hand corner. So this is going to be very important. Each of the talks are split into sessions. This sort of facilitates the ease of the recording and things like that, and keeping things for posterity. So what's going to happen now is I'm going to end this session, the welcome and introduction session, and we're going to move into the microcircuits oscillation tutorial session. Now you guys can manually move into that session by clicking this in your schedule, or once I start the session and go live, it should pull you all there via the Crowdcast system if you're still sitting in this room. So we're going to sort of test that out now. If you, for whatever reason, do not get pulled into this next session, please maneuver there manually via that schedule tab. And really quickly, Arthur, to answer your question, so you will get on the screen if when you're giving the talk, you'll go to the session that you're assigned to, and you will get pulled on screen via the share screen button, just like I brought Andrea and John and Milad up onto the screen. So with that, I'm going to end this session, and we will hopefully move everyone into the microcircuits tutorial session.